Hi, welcome to clickmyproject.com. Let us we discuss about semantic based resource provisioning and scheduling in inter-cloud environment. Here is the abstract of our project. Cloud computing is a paradigm that focuses on sharing of data and computation over a scalable network of nodes and web services. Organizations may not be able to give the guaranteed services due to insufficient provisioning of resources. It is difficult to provide the right resources from various cloud providers because management policies and descriptions about the various resources are different from in each organization. So it is essential to organize cloud system for sharing the resource. We propose the inter-cloud resource provisioning systems in which the resource and tasks are described semantically stored in the cloud. Task scheduling is one of the most famous conventional optimization problems and plays a key role to improve the performance of flexible and reliable systems. We implement an interference engine algorithm. This will reduce the network access and this reducing bandwidth usage, the job completion time. We have the common semantic scheduler and resource managers for federated cloud environment. The semantic schedulers are used to schedule the resource and allocate in the specific cloud. This is the data flow diagram for our project. Initially, the user can register the details for access the files in the cloud environment. Only authenticated users can access the files in the clouds. In the user requests can be forwarded simultaneously to the both cloud broker as well as the client manager. The client manager manages the execution of client's tasks and takes decisions when some unanticipated events occurs. The inter-cloud environment is nothing but a combination of multiple cloud services providers. In this, the available resources of each cloud can be stored in the semantic metadata repositories. All the components of the semantic are semantically described and stored in the semantic metadata repository. The resource discovery is made easy with the semantic description of all the resources. The semantic scheduler allocates the required resource to each task according to its priorities, requirements, and the system statuses in order to favor the customers with more priorities based on their time slot. The resource manager has produced a virtual machine to perform the client's tasks based on the minimum resource allocation suggested by the semantic scheduler. After the execution of the task, the completion time of each task will be calculated in each cloud and finally represented as a graph using Cloud Sim Toolkit. Here is the running procedure of our project. This is the initial login pages that the user can authenticate himself to access the files in the cloud. The new user can register their details to access their files in the clouds. Once click registration successfully, the unique ID will be generated to authenticator to access the files in the cloud. The respective unique ID will be mentioned here for authentication. Once the authentication is verified, then you can select the files to upload their contents in their cloud environment. Select their files. Like this, the file attribute can be automatically calculated once the file is selected. The process times will be mentioned here for their further purpose operations, and then the request can be forwarded to both client manager as well as the server. Similarly, like this, multiple user can access like this. Now the request can be forwarded to the both server and the client manager too. The user request can be forwarded to the client manager and the cloud broker. This is the sample cloud broker window in the client with the client requests. This is the client broker windows. These are the client manager window and these are the cloud service window. The request is in the cloud services provider. Once the client request is received, the request can be forwarded to the client service provider with the available resources. The request sent to CSP. Once the client request is received, the CSP form will be displayed like this. And this is the first cloud service provider. This available space will be calculated. Then the space will be sent to the semantic metadata repository, which is used to analyze the available space to allocate the resources. Simultaneously, the cloud service from the second cloud service provider also display. This is second cloud service provider windows. Available space is Similarly, forward to the SMR as like the first cloud service provider. This is the semantic metadata repository is Windows. The request the request sent by the cloud service providers can be received and stored. Data received from the first cloud service providers as well as the second cloud providers can be received and stored in the semantic metadata repository to analyze the available spaces in the cloud environment. Analyze the available spaces in the cloud environment to allocate the resources. The scheduling can be performed using first come first serve algorithm. Then check availabilities is to analyze the semantic metadata repositories, and these are the semantic metadata repositories window. The space available in cloud one will be sent back to the resource manager. Contains the client details, allocate resources when the resource sent to cloud 1, waiting for this acknowledgements. Once the waiting for acknowledgements, we should analyze and send. These are the description graph for our available resources. Once the resources allocated by the resource manager, the first service provider is received and the process will be taken like this. The total number of the files will be counted 42 says, and the total number of words is 892. The words will be counted and the file is stored successfully in the cloud, and after the process completion time can be calculated, and the efficiency of the process can be analyzed through CloudSim toolkit when generating the using bar graph. And the performance analysis can be done for reliabilities and overheads, and throughput can be calculated using the available execution time of the process using the specific formula. During transmission, if any error occurs through the error occurs during transmission means the cloud will be the message will be directly transmitted to the next cloud without any loss of data. And using the systems and method will decrease the amount of time need to respond a given cloud services request, while advantageing the resource sharing model amongst the established cloud service providers. Thank you.